Okay, we're recording. Very good. Hello. Happy Tuesday. So happy you guys are here and got the right link this time. I am Megan Lesby. If you guys don't know me, I am a diamond coach on Team Root to Rise with Leanna, CEO and founder of Team Power to Purpose. And we're going to be talking about social media. Leanna, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Had to unmute myself, but I'm Leanna. Obviously, you guys all know me. And I'm a diamond coach as well on Team Root to Rise. And Megan and I have been success partners since I don't even know when we both started pushing for diamond, maybe back in January.
Yeah.
The team retreat, maybe. But so we're talking about social media, which social media is just, I feel like, an animal all on its own. And there's do's and don'ts, and it's hard to know what to do. But we have a lot of good things to share with you guys. So just get ready. If you have a pen and paper, definitely get that out because your hand might start hurting from writing so much. Yeah, Megan, if you want to just dive into it, then.
So, the biggest thing, social media is our job. Plain and simple, it's our job because, whether you've been coaching for a month, 3 months, 3 years, your warm market, the people that will hit an end at some point. If you're utilizing your warm market as a new coach, wonderful. That's what you should be doing as a new coach. But after 3 months, you're going to exhaust your entire warm market. And at that point, it's crucial that you have a solid foundation on your social media to create that trust in the people that you don't know personally, that people that are your cold market is what we call it. And because it's your job, you have to own your platform. And what that means is take ownership that page, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever it is, own it, recognize that is the storefront of your business and it needs to be open every single day. If you're not showing up daily, then you don't need to worry about anything else and no other aspect of this business unless you are showing up every single day consistently on your social media, because that builds trust. That shows the people who are following you that they can trust you to keep them accountable every single day. If you're not showing up on there day in and day out, don't worry about anything else about this business. Don't worry about figuring out your downline or your legs or, signing up, I don't know, your brother underneath your partner, or I don't know what it is. You have to accept and own the fact that your social media page is the storefront of your business. And it all starts there. If you're struggling with something, own it, recognize it, Google it, figure it out. And there's really no secret sauce. I was telling Leanna before we hopped on here that it's mind-blowing to me that I am sharing this training on social media, because when I was a senior in college, my roommates made me an Instagram because I didn't do social media. It just isn't a thing that I ever did. My sister's now husband made my Facebook page when I was going to college because he's you need this social media stuff. I was never one for it. But, there is no secret sauce to it. We can all do this. It's a science, but nobody knows the equation to it. There's no secret formula for you to figure out, and then all of a sudden you're going to blow up on social media. What the secret is just showing up consistently. Showing up daily, listening to trainings, listening to top tips, and implementing them immediately. Don't be afraid to fail. This business is all about failing forward, and that's what I love about it, because it encourages us to try something new, to do something different, fail forward, and try something new next time. And so we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what all of that is, things to make sure that you are doing, and things to maybe not do so much of if you are doing it, or hopefully you're not doing it. And then if there's time, we're going to have a little action item where we're going to go through and actually check ourselves on this. I'm going to pass it over to Leanna.
Okay, so I'm basically just going to start going through social media do's. So pretty simple. I'm just going to list them off and try to go slow so you guys can write them down. But of course, feel free to ask questions in the chat, or ask me if I need to repeat anything. So first thing is just posting daily. And I recommend posting 3 to 5 times on social media is total. So don't think about 5 posts on Instagram. That would be a lot. but for sure one, like at least one minimum. I try to do 2 every single day, but then like on a really good day when I'm doing a lot of things, like I'll do 3, or maybe 2 of them are pictures and then 1 is a video. And then those other, to complete the 5, I would recommend, posting something on Facebook as well. So I post 2 times on social media, morning and night. And then I also post once on my Facebook page. So that's like 3 times total. And then I'm also posting on like stories. But start, like if you are starting out and like social media is hard for you, it's hard to post, like just try to do 1 post a day. But then also know, like if you're trying to get people to know who you are through social media, the more the better, because then you have more opportunities to connect with people and more opportunities to share who you are, and what you're about and what you want to talk about. And we'll get into like why that all matters. So just try to focus on like 3 to 5 times, whether it's a couple on social or on Instagram, a couple on Facebook, 1 on each, or some in your stories. And then that's the second point. So story daily. The cool thing about like Instagram stories when they came out is it's basically like a snippet into your daily life. Like it is literally you live. Like you can have filters on, but like if you don't have makeup on, like people know. If you have your hair in a towel, people know. Like it is there, it's you. And I think what's really cool is when stories came out, a lot of like the really, really big influencers or like celebrities or people you really look up to, you get to see that they're like a real person too. So that's what people want to see. Like if your photos are a little bit more crafted, because Instagram is a visual platform, like we want to make our platforms pretty and presentable. So obviously that's where the photos come into play, but your stories are like that chance to really show your personality, show who you are, show how you talk, show if you use your hands or not, show if you smile or not. And then another just really quick tip about stories, like I want you guys to be yourself, but also try to be like, as if you were on, like, this is going to sound weird, but if you were like a high version of yourself, so just like yourself on steroids, like to the extreme. So not like as if you were literally high, but as if you were like your extreme, like most authentic self. So that means, if you're like really, really grumpy, like don't like go in story like really grumpy and like serious and you're like talking like life just doesn't even matter and like this is stupid, like because nobody wants to be a part of that, like nobody wants to see that. So like be you, but also like no, like if you're not in a really positive space, like it's probably not going to inspire a lot of people, so maybe don't story that, just skip out on it, like move to something else. So next thing is sharing topics outside of coaching, health and fitness, which are your brands. So when coaches like start out, hopefully we go through this, hopefully it's in the coach prep training, but all coaches need to have 5 brands roughly. And like the way to figure out what your brands are, you can just ask yourself, who am I? You can write it down on a piece of paper, take 5 minutes to do this and say, I'm a wife, I am a mom, I am a daughter, I am a skier, I am a yogi, I'm like all these things that are you, and like make up who you are and like what you love to do. It could be your job, like I'm a barista or I'm a nurse or I'm a teacher. So write out that stuff that makes you you, and then just go through what are like the very, very main things to you. Like what would you not want to not share about? Like for me, yoga is such a huge part of my life. Like I love it. It was the beginning of my health and fitness journey. So like me not sharing about yoga would just be weird, because that's like a huge part of who I am. Same with like Lola, my dog. Like if I didn't share about Lola, like she is such a huge part of my life now. So just pick 5 things roughly out of all of those things that are like you, and without these things, like you would not be you. You need to share about these things. So that's basically like what you would call your brands. And that is what you want to be posting about. And so going back to like that, you're posting daily 3 to 5 times. So let's say you only post once a day, every single day. That's awesome. Like a great place to start, but that's not what, like where you want to stay. Because if you want people to get to know you through your social media, they're only going to know one part of you, which is your health and fitness. And like being a coach and health and fitness, like it's amazing, but that's not the thing that most people connect with us. Like if somebody is not on a health journey yet, like that's your person. You want to help them start their health journey. And so you're not going to resonate with health and fitness because they're not there yet. But what you are going to resonate with is your other 5 or 4 brands, because health and fitness can be one of them. So whether that's being a yogi or a wife or a vegan or like whatever it is, those are the things you want to like start creating connections with people, because once you build a friendship and a relationship, you can take that to the next step and be like, hey, this is working for me. Would you be interested in learning more? And maybe this could help you too. So those are brands. And obviously you guys can take time, like aside from this later tonight, if you've never thought of your brands, and kind of like come up with them. And then feel free to like ask your coach, are these brands like good? Could I share these brands? Do you think these brands represent me well? Sometimes asking people that know you is better than even asking yourself sometimes, if you aren't really sure what brands would be good. Next thing is consistency in your feed or in your posts. So consistency is super important, because when you like go to somebody's page, you'll notice your eye is drawn more to the page that, let's say it's in all black and white. Like I would be more inclined to look at a page that's like all very similar, rather than one photo is black and white, one photo is very saturated and like orangey, one photo is like very cool blue tones. So you kind of want to come up with like a theme of like what your photos look like, and whether that's just using the same filter like over and over and over, or whether there's like a process that you edit your photos that you want to do with every single photo. Or like for me, I love bright and color, so I always make my photos like as bright as possible and very clear. So just making sure you're staying consistent. And then you can even do that on stories too. Like if you like a certain filter more than other ones, like try to stay consistent. I kind of like to hop around, but I use, I think, the same colors most of the times, because I love like all the colors rainbow. So I always try to do like as many colors as possible. But just consistency, because that's something that's going to help people get to know you. Like you'll notice your personality kind of shines through whatever that consistent look is, which I think is just cool. It's like you're sharing yourself in kind of like an artful way. The next thing is utilizing hashtags. So hashtags you can actually do research with, which is really cool. I had no idea. Like I didn't even think hashtags were a thing. I didn't think they worked. I thought they were the dumbest thing in the world before I started coaching. But then I realized, my coach told me, like, you can actually use hashtags to your benefit to find your people. So the main rules with hashtags is do not use like very, very broad, well, I guess Megan will talk about this in the do nots, but we want to focus on hashtags that are our specific brand. So as specific as you can get, rather than doing like hashtag love, do like hashtag married life, or rather than like hashtag yoga, do like yoga lifestyle. So what happens is you can search a hashtag in your little search bar and see how many posts are attached to that hashtag. And you want to kind of try to stay in a range of, I would say maybe like 50,000 to like 500,000-ish. Maybe a little past those, but you never want to go to like posts with like 1 million, or you never want to go to posts that have like one post attached, because like nobody's going to see that. So try to keep your hashtag, like the hashtags that you use, within those ranges. And then also you can research your hashtags beforehand. So you want to, like I said, use hashtags that are according to your brands. So let's say you're making a post about yoga. I'm just going to use that because it's easy. So what I do is I will go into my search bar ahead of time before I've even made the post. It's just yoga is one of my brands, and I'll search and find like 30-ish hashtags of yoga that work for me, that I've looked at, because you can click on the hashtag and look at what are posts associated to this, how many posts are associated with this, and then you can take all of those hashtags you find for each brand and put them in your notes in your phone. So then when you go to post, it's like, okay, today this post is going to be about my dog. Then I go to my dog hashtags, and then I collect them all and put them either in the comments of your post, or do like a bunch of dots or dashes, and then just do it at the very bottom, because the hashtags like aren't the prettiest. So I try to hide them in the best way possible. But that way you're working smarter rather than harder, and having to like come up with these hashtags every single time. And then also you can direct each group of hashtag to whatever you're talking about in your post, and like keep it simple. Like post about one brand and then hashtag about one brand. Like simple is always better. So the next thing is own the fact that you need to post quality content on your Instagram. So Megan kind of opened up with that, but we need to realize like we have this opportunity now as coaches. We have a platform where we get to share our lives. Like that's an opportunity. Like a lot of people don't have that opportunity. And so we now have a responsibility to provide value for people. And don't be hard on yourself and say like, oh my gosh, like every single one of my posts has to be like some quick tip or something like that. But just make sure that at least one of your posts per day, like if you're just doing one post per day, then that post better have a freaking ton of value. But if you do 3 posts a day, then make sure at least one of those posts has some kind of value. So this could be, think of anything that like you're struggling with and that would be a valuable thing for you. So maybe it's some type of encouragement. Maybe it's motivation. Maybe it is a tutorial. Maybe it's you asking a question for advice from people, because people love to give advice, and that's value because you're creating a connection and people value that. It could be sharing like a tip with something or a health hack, or I don't know, like just ask yourself, what's valuable to me? Like, what would I want to read? What am I curious about in my phase of life right now? What am I struggling with? What am I going through? And then the next thing is clear and bright pics. So every time you post a picture, you don't like, honestly, I would not take a picture of me right now here because it's not super bright out. Like we don't have a lot of light in our house right now, and I'm not close to like a natural light windows. So that's what you do want to do is go to windows, face like the natural light is facing you so that you have a spotlight on your face. And make sure it's clear, make sure it's bright, because you want to think about like if you're scrolling, people nowadays, like scrolling is like a second nature. Like they just open up their phone and they like, sometimes they don't even look at the screen. And so it's like, you want to post a photo that's eye catching, that's going to stop them in their scroll and go, oh my gosh, what is this picture? And then they're going to read, and then you're going to have value, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like I love this person. We need to be friends. So always think about scroll stopping. If your picture is good, then people will definitely read the caption. Next is posting about the things that are easy that you do in a day. So think about like you're working out every day, you're eating healthy food, you're reading your personal development. Like those are the vital behaviors of being a coach, filling yourself up with like good knowledge, PD, working out obviously, and then eating healthy. So obviously you're doing those things every day. So if you get frustrated, like I don't know what to post about, go back to those basic things of what I'm doing in a day, my coach behaviors, or those 5 brands that we talked about, or I think I had another one on here even. Oh, I need to find this. Okay, maybe I can't ever find it. Might be in the social media notes. But yeah, so go back to like what you're doing every single day. Oh, I just remembered it. So one thing someone told me that was literally gold, like best thing I've ever heard about social media, was keep it simple, stupid. So don't create content, just document your life. So don't think about, oh my gosh, I have this social media platform now, like I need to go like do some yoga and then take a video. Like if that like stresses you out and you don't want to do yoga, don't freaking do yoga. Like go do what you want to do in your day, or what you have to do. Go to work, get your coach work done, get your workout done, like do the things that you would normally do in a day, and just bring your phone along and document every single step of that. Like document your meal, document a selfie of you walking into work with your shaker cup, but don't show the Shakeology part of it. Walk in, like whatever you're doing in the day. If you stop and take a work break and you do yoga, take a video of that. If you're pulling vegetables from your garden, like Taylor, like take a video or a story, like doing that. Just document your life. Don't like think that you have to create something that you're not, because it's about who you are and sharing who you are. Next is so simple. You just need to be in the pictures. Like a lot of people post perspective photos of like, this is my feet, this is like where I'm looking, I'm walking into this building. And it's like, those are cool. Like every now and then you can post like a picture of your food. But 9 times out of 10, like people are on your page for you. Like, your page is an editorial magazine spread of you and your life. So don't like be posting everything from your perspective, because people can see the world by walking outside. What they want to do is go on social media. It's a social platform to see someone else, like see a person and make a connection. So they want to see you. Like, don't be ashamed of showing you. It's not like, I don't even know what the word is. It's not like self-centered. It's just what it's meant for. Like, that's what it's meant. Next is taking your Instagram seriously. So I think Megan already kind of talked about this, but like, if you don't do anything else for your business, show up on the daily for your social media platform, because building a following and building a tribe of people through your social media, that's what's going to help you, because the more people you're able to speak to, the more opportunities there are for people to join you and be helped by you and learn about health and fitness. And then along with that, think of Instagram as like a storefront. So if you're not showing up every single day, you're technically not open. Like, if there was a donut shop that I wanted to go to and their hours said like 9 to 5 and like they weren't like open, like I couldn't get a donut. They're losing a sale. And so you kind of have to think about it like my social media is my storefront. And if I'm not showing up, I'm not open. Nobody knows I'm a coach. Nobody knows I can help them. So they're of course not going to sign up. Like, you can never share enough on social media because of all the algorithms now. And because if you're more popular, you get shared more, or, you know, there's all these things we have fighting against us and battling against us. So we need to take as many steps as we can to get it all out there. So just show up. Let's see. I already said that. I think I already said that. So yeah, I think that's everything. So those are all the main things for the do's, and then Megan's going to take over the don'ts.
I forgot to mute myself. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Let me know if it gets too loud in the background. My family is chatting in the kitchen in the next room over. So don'ts. And we tried to come up with don'ts that weren't necessarily opposites of the do's, if that makes sense. So hopefully these are different ideas for you guys as far as the don'ts go. And so the first one is, I think for me, the biggest one is that don't post one, like, I'm a coach post and wait for people to come to you. Don't post one call to action all month and wait for people to come to you. That's like playing the lottery. Like, you're not going to win. You can't, it's like putting all of your eggs in one basket or something, especially as a newer coach. Like, those posts are great because it's telling people you're open and available to help them. But until you show up consistently on that page day in and day out for months or years, they're not going to come flocking to you, because they're going to sit back and be like, okay, like, let's see what this girl's really doing. Like, are they serious about this? Or is this just something you're really excited about right now and you're going to fizzle out in a few weeks? So people's natural instinct or reaction to that is to sit back and be like, okay, let's see what happens. They're not going to come flocking to you right away. If they do, awesome. Like, if you post that for your first time and you get people filling out your link in your bio, like, that's incredible. That's bonus. Do not expect that to be the case. Even like me showing up a year, I guess I've been consistently coaching for a little over a year now. Like, I still get crickets on some of those posts where it's like nobody fills out my form. What you need to do is you need to take the initiative to go talk to people. You can't play the lottery with that one post. You have to show up every single day in your DMs and in your conversations and in your invites and in your reach outs. So that's like the biggest don't, or I think like the biggest mistake I think most new coaches make. Don't play the lottery is how you can summarize that one. Don't post stories only of your workouts. Like, stories, like Lana said, like, stories are this place where like they get to actually, your prospective clients and coaches and teammates get to know you. They get to know who you are. They get to know how you talk, your personality, your family, your pets, like everything about you is on stories. And so make sure on your stories, you're showcasing everything about you. And it's not just like, hey, I'm so excited to work out today, drinking my pre-workout. And then you show like 3 stories of your workout. Yeah, that was a great workout. And like, that's all your story is for the entire day. Like that's a big don't, because like Lana said, like your brand, you are so much more than a coach. And like people can go to beachbodyondemand.com and sign up without you. Like they can go and sign up for these programs and these nutrition plans and stuff without a coach. Like they don't sign up for the programs, they sign up for you. They don't join your team for the programs, they join your team for you. And so you have to make sure you are showing them who you are inside and out, day in and day out. Like even with your towel head from after your shower, or I don't know, tears in your eyes because you just had a really heart-to-heart conversation and you still have a red nose or something like that, because that's totally me. Or you know your stories are planned out. So sure, you can show one where you like wake up and you're really groggy and then you drink your pre-workout, then you're like, yay, I'm awake. Like that's great, but make sure you show more than just coaching on your stories and your page. Because people want to know, like, do you do anything other than work out? Because they don't want to just work out all the time. So make sure you're showing like, no, like I don't know, I've been watching Harry Potter every night with my boyfriend because we're obsessed with it and going on a marathon with that. So another don't post only positives. You know, if you're struggling, share that you're struggling. If it was really hard for you to get out of bed and press play on your workout, share that. People are going to relate to that. Not everybody wakes up super excited to work out, and most people who are looking for help are struggling with something. And so they need to hear, what are you struggling with and how are you overcoming it? So share the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. And don't only post what other coaches are posting. Like sometimes it's great to like, oh, somebody says something, you're like, holy crap, like that really resonates with me. And so you might like save that post or that idea, but revamp it into your own message. Like, you know, they might spark something in your mind, but turn it into your own. But use your own words, use your own thoughts, use your own voice, be you. Going off of that, unfollow all of the coaches that you're following right now. Unfollow all of it, like those top coaches. It's great to have dream coaches, but you don't want your feed to be covered with all of the top coaches because they've been doing this for a lot longer than we have. Maybe follow like 2 that inspire you or that you really relate to. But if you go to your feed and you see, you know, the next 15 of the next 20 posts on your feed are all top coaches or coaches in this business, unfollow them. You want to only be following like your prospective coaches for you, your prospective challengers, giving love on that. Because what tends to happen is we start comparing ourselves to them. Like if I had to just go unfollow Sammy Glanick because I absolutely love her to death, Short Girl Fitness, but what I would see is like all of her posts and it's like, holy crap, like I can't, I don't know. It's like, you know, those doubts come to mind. And so unfollowing all of those coaches because you're going to attract other coaches through that way, and you don't want other coaches. Don't post low quality photos. If it's low quality, don't post it. Like, yeah, you might be like, oh, I really need to post something today and I haven't posted anything. Like, let me snap a picture here. Don't do it. That can go on your story. Lower quality videos can go on your story, but on your feed, have those bright, clear, high quality, cohesive photos. Leanna kind of talked about this, but don't only post pictures from your perspective. So AKA like holding up your shake cup and like snapping the picture from here. You want your face and your body and like you to be in them. People follow you for you. People join you for you. They want to follow your story. So show them everything about you inside and out. We've got 10 minutes. We're good. Do not post your Shakeology cup with Shakeology or your Energize with Energize, because then people will just go online and Google Shakeology and like order Shakeology online. You want the curiosity to market. You want them to be like, oh, what's in that shake that you're calling 7 salads a day but tastes like chocolate milk? Like, I want some of that. Or what is this like bright yellow drink that you have every day before your workouts? Like, if you show them Energize, they're going to go online to Google, they're going to type in Energize, and they're going to order Energize themselves. So that's the whole point of this curiosity marketing. Hashtags, Lana hit on them a little bit. You don't want to hashtag Beachbody. You don't want to hashtag Coach Life, because the only people that are on those hashtags are other coaches. you want to refine your hashtags to be something super specific for you. So no hashtagging health, because your post is going to get lost in 0.5 of a second. Do not post a video of you working out at night in front of your TV, or a super low quality video. Like, you want, as much as you can, natural light on your face. Like right now I turned off all the lights behind me. It's like super dark in the room I'm sitting in, and just behind my computer is a lamp right now, so you can get bright light on my face. Same idea applies to your Instagram and your pictures. Don't follow every coach. Yeah, so we got on that. So a few like inventory type things. If you guys have your phones on you right now, like go ahead and pull up your Instagram. We're just gonna do a few little quick checks. First thing, are you consistently using the same editing app and filters for every photo so it looks consistent? And if not, Leanna did an awesome training on this. Like, go to Pinterest and search ViscoCam filters, formulas. You can figure that out on there. But that's like a question to check on your own page. So you're pulling up, you're looking at like your most recent 12 photos. Are you in 98% of them? So of your last 12 photos, the ones that you see as soon as like you scroll past your bio, are you in 11 out of 12 of them? And by you, it's like your face, your body, you. And if not, that's something you know you need to work on. Are you keeping your captions short and sweet? So hopefully you know kind of what you said in each of those captions. You don't have to scroll through each of them. But are you keeping them short and sweet most of the time? People have really, really short attention spans. So every now and then you'll want that really long, lengthy post telling a story, but are most of them kind of short and sweet? Because half the time people will read and they'll see this huge chunk of text and like, okay, and they're going to scroll right past it. Yeah, so they don't go on to social media to, read novels or anything. Then I'll let you pick up the last few.
And then next thing you can ask yourself while you're looking at your phone, I have mine too, is am I consistently using, 15 to 25 hashtags, which Catherine just said in our chat that they recognize more than 10 as a bot, which I didn't know that. So that's awesome. Maybe try experimenting with that. Like, social media is failing forward. So I'm going to try it and see if it works. So am I consistently using hashtags that specifically relate to my brands though? That's kind of the focus. And are they small enough so that my picture stays at the top of the hashtag feed? You can kind of experiment with this and see if you use a hashtag, you can go back to that hashtag and see your post and where it landed in that hashtag. So if yours is one of the top posts in there, then that's probably the number range you want to stay around within those hashtags. Another question is, am I diversifying my photos? AKA, they're not all super close to my face. It's not everyone is a selfie, or not everyone is a far away of me. It's like some is up my face up close, some is like a full body, some is like half of my body. Try mixing some videos in. We want it to be like a magazine spread editorial of your life. And so you have to think about having like balance. The next is, have I shared me being consistent in my workouts every single day for whatever your program is that you're working through? Because if you're not being consistent with your health journey on social media, then people aren't going to want you to coach them. Like, I wouldn't want a coach who's like showing up maybe like every 3 days or every 2 days. And like with this new program with Lift 4, since there's only 4 workouts per week, I make sure to go into my feed, either in a post or a story or both, and say, hey guys, it's my rest day, meaning like this is a part of my program. I'm following my program to a freaking T, because I want the people who sign up with me to know that I'm going to take care of them and I'm being a product to the product, and I want them to get amazing results. So I'm not going to try to like skip off my plan and drink wine every night, even though I want to. Next is, or lastly, is just, are you sharing an update of before and after pictures as you go throughout your workout? So this is something that I've just recently started doing, is I'm sharing like week 1 progress photos, week 2 progress photos, week 3, or after, the beginning to the end of your program, or 1 year to 3 years later, like sharing all different types of transformations. It can even be not even like a transformation physically, but like mentally. Like, I know Hannah Van Dyke on our team, she shares a lot of like side-by-sides of her face, and her face has changed a little bit. Like, her cheeks look a little thinner, but the main thing she's trying to get at is more of like the inner change that's been going on. So just make sure you're incorporating all types of transformations. So if anybody has questions, we have like 4 minutes left. I think there was one in here, 1 or 2 that I read through. So I'm going to scroll.
Yeah, I know, Amanda, you asked charts with like 30 days coach post challenge or 21 days of coaching or 22 days of coaching. Like those are awesome to make sure you post one a day about it's one post a day about coaching. Like those are incredible. I'm sure Leanna has some that she can share in the team page. I know I've shared some in mine, and if not, I can share them with Leanna to share with you. So we can definitely get some of those shared in the team pages.
And then I think I already answered the one question, like it's good to rotate. Yeah. So of you and then something else, I would just keep the pictures of perspective, like not where I'm not in the photos, to a minimum of like 1 every 6 photos maybe.
No. My dog was trying to walk over and then he just walked away from me.
Ribs.
My dad's eating ribs.
Oh, Taylor, mine are typically 6 to 8 sentences. Do you mean like your the thing you write, like your caption?
Yeah. Like I don't know, they range a couple paragraphs sometimes. Is that like good or?
I mean, I always like have to slim down my words. You guys probably know that because you've read my social media posts, but I struggle with keeping it short and sweet. I've actually been trying to challenge myself to do more of that, but I think that's fine.
Okay.
Like, and if it is a really long post that you have to get out there, I know it, like sometimes you just have to, then do like dashes to split up paragraphs where it would naturally do that, because it just helps the reader, like it keeps their attention.
How do you do the dashes? Because every time I do that, it merges into one and I can't like figure out how to get it back down.
So you have to make sure right after your last like letter of the last word, you press the return button so that it enters to the next space, and then do the dash and then return right after that. So if you accidentally do like you're typing a sentence and then you do period and then space, if you do a space after any letters or words and then press return to enter, it like doesn't work for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense.
Thanks. I just learned that. Mine are usually just like a dash at the end. We're under a minute, so it's going to kick us off. I'll share the recording with Leanna. It'll get posted within the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hopping on, guys. Have a good night. Love you all.
Bye.